Oh yeah, Phoenix Jones, was that from Rain? Oh, from Atrocity Guide? She did the one we just watched with the man the man who lived in an airport for 18 years. We went down the Phoenix Jones rabbit hole already, but I've never seen the whole story.
The streets as homage to their comic book inspirations, they adopt colorful costumes and pseudonyms, like Redbud Woman and the Crimson Canuck. Each has a different MO. Polar Man travels the streets of Canada, shoveling snow from driveways.
Aww.
The DC Guardian, armed with a $10,000 bulletproof suit, a stun gun, 2 million Scoville pepper spray, and a GoPro. Phoenix Jones is perhaps the closest thing to a comic book hero we've ever seen. And during his decade of activity, his fans have watched him transform from hero to anti-hero and finally, to what he'd fought so long to protect Seattle against.
I guess it's true, what they say.
Yeah.
You live long enough as the hero, see yourself become the villain.
Very bad.
I guess.
This is the rise and fall of Phoenix Jones.
I won't spoil the story. I'm very curious to see the whole lore now, but I know how it ends, unfortunately. He was never the hero? What do you mean? He kinda was. I mean, he'd try and break up street fights and then call the cops.
Phoenix Jones, Guardian of Seattle. Local news began
Tier 1,
reporting on a mysterious figure who, nearly every night, disappeared into the hidden room of a comic book shop and emerged in a black and gold costume. In the beginning, the learning curve for what he hoped to accomplish proved steep.
One local man came within seconds of having his car broken into, perhaps stolen, until a superhero came to his rescue.
And you just start sticking it down.
Dan was calling 911, but help flew in before he finished dialing.
From the right, this guy comes
Yeah, I know about the Killer Bean thing.
As he continued, Jones began breaking up street fights, attempting to intimidate drug dealers, and in doing so, incurred many injuries.
Yeah, he got his ass beat a lot.
Kicked him and broke his nose.
It's under my eye over here on this. I can see
yeah.
But the injuries didn't deter him. For the first time, we have someone who agrees with our overall purpose but doesn't agree with our methods.
Night Owl?
Hero Night Owl told the Wall Street Journal.
Honestly, if you... This'll just be to anyone out there that wants to be like a vigilante helping. Just travel with Narcan. That's what it's called, right? Narcan? What is it? What is that shit that literally brings people back to life? I think it's... Yeah, Narcan. That nasal spray? That shit is like an actual miracle for people that are overdosing. Like, if you want to be a real hero, just travel around and just have that and save people who have overdosed that night. Like, you'd help. I don't know how much traveling around and getting your ass beaten would help somebody, but that would. That would actually fucking help. I had no idea how effective that was until recently. I saw a video on it. Shit is crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if you gave that to a dead body and brought them back to life. It seems so potent. I can't find any like news articles or videos of these other ones, but Phoenix Jones is well documented.
Retiring in his 20s after inventing corrugated fiberglass, Richard Pesta of San Diego devoted his life to becoming America's first Cape Crusader.
Aww.
Like many after him, Captain Sticky's approach was
not a good name. Not a good name.
His costume and outrageous persona
Captain
served
Sticky.
as bait for the media.
Sounds like he's like a pre-cum bender.
To speak out against injustices, such as the poor conditions of elderly homes or greedy auto mechanics upcharging their less knowledgeable customers.
Oh shit!
Get a taste of that next time you want to hurt a little kid.
In recent decades, an
influx
of individuals following in their footsteps began to permeate the streets of metropolitan cities. But not only did Phoenix Jones stand in stark contrast with his community, he seemed to look down on them. I don't call them real-life superheroes, he told writer John Ronson, who interviewed Jones in an emergency room as he was being treated for a stab wound. I call them real-life sandwiches.
Jesus Christ!
But this separation from the community didn't seem to hinder Phoenix. On the contrary, by mid-2011...
There's a lot you can say about Phoenix Jones, but he was kind of a fucking badass. He said this with a stab wound in the emergency room. Like, he's kind of fucking cool. Like I said, when we first went down the Phoenix Jones rabbit hole, I haven't seen this video, but we watched his content that he used to post. I thought he was pretty fucking badass.
And it wasn't long before Phoenix managed to inspire a small coalition of like-minded individuals who costumed themselves to join him on patrol.
What kinds of crimes are happening if the police respond. And I just factor in all this different data. And I say, you know what, this is where we need to be.
Well, we gotta send Phoenix Jones out there, baby. Get his ass
Phoenix
beat.
had very...
Buster Doe. This is like Dwight from The Office here. He just grabbed a hoodie and put underwear on his face. What the fuck is this costume? Come on, man. Phoenix Jones invested $10,000 in a literal bulletproof costume, and you're cruising in his crew looking like a fucking jockstrap? Come on, Buster. What are you doing? God, like, these were really bold things that he was doing. Unironically, like, really bold.
Here's what's going on. We got cameras all over.
Phoenix's approach remained
I used to give sub
polarizing, as he often invited camera crews to follow him on patrol. Some sensed Jones cared more about his own celebrity than improving his community. Phoenix and Purple Rain were married, and the two of them together serving as the dual public face of the group seemed to be good PR. Interviewers and media outlets were divided.
Jeez, it's kind of like
Some
The
wishing
Boys.
to scold the heroes.
It's about Nightwing and Batgirl.
It's like right out of The Boys.
It's more about
a superhero marriage.
Tell us what happened the night Phoenix saved your life.
A man was getting violent with security at a nightclub.
Thanks to Reset
He proceeded to
Barnabas.
get violent with me and my group of friends. Phoenix ran in and pepper sprayed the guy and defused the entire situation.
How did you hear about it?
A so-called superhero in Seattle is under arrest.
Yeah. But look at, he's the first one to charge in, goddammit.
Phoenix
He's on the
and
front
fellow
line.
hero Phoenix ran in, shouting to the group to break it up, instructing Ghost to dial 911 as was their protocol. But rather than thanking Phoenix for his assistance, the group turned on him. Phoenix, unable to verbally control the situation, employed the use of his pepper spray. But according to a police report, the group was, quote, dancing and frolicking around with each other when a masked man came running and
cyber goth
toward them,
rave under the
coating area
bridge.
in pepper spray.
I see.
The last paragraph of the police report
He fucked
notes
up.
that this was the second. Phoenix welcomed them to congregate around him, and in a move that shocked everyone, he unmasked himself and greeted the cameras for the first time as Benjamin Fodor.
I'm Phoenix Jones. I'm also Ben Fodor. I also protect the city. I also am a father. I also am a brother. I'm just like everyone else.
Damn, the big reveal!
Born in Texas in 1988, Benjamin
It's like when
Fodor
Tony
spent
Stark
time
revealed
in
that he was Iron
orphanages
Man.
Before finding, according to Tapology.com, Benjamin, who fought under the name
Holy
Flat Top,
shit.
boasted an impressive amateur record of 11 wins and no losses.
Fuck.
But where one morning, Benjamin found his car broken into, his driver's side window shattered, and a black ski mask laying atop the broken glass on the street. Phoenix decided the ski mask would serve as the basis for an alternate identity. A moniker was
That's
chosen.
super, like,
The word
that's like
Phoenix has
super
roots in
wholesome
Greek
almost.
folklore associated
Like
with
sad, but
rebirth.
that's a really good
Jones,
origin
one
for
of
a
the
real
most common
superhero.
American last names, confused as to how to begin, Benjamin took to simply brooding on rooftops. One night, upon witnessing a mugging, he climbed down the building's fire escape, a task which took minutes, only to find the criminal long gone by the time he reached the street. Northwest, upon witnessing a
So in the early days of Phoenix Jones, the beta testing, he used to just climb on rooftops. And then the one time he saw something, the girl just insulted him. What are you doing? He already left. You look like Count Chocula. Oh no. And that only motivated him further. He then also invested in getting insult-proof suits. So that way he wouldn't feel the pain of insults as well.
He'd purchased a net launcher reminiscent of the old campy Batman comics. Contrary to how he'd imagined
Does that
the
shit
usage
actually
of this
work?
device playing out, Jones ended up trapping himself in it and was spotted by a passing police officer who took the opportunity to
What
laugh
hero
and take
didn't
a
have a
picture
rocky
before
start?
cutting him loose.
It
Early
happened.
Phoenix
Fucking
Jones
happens, especially with
also
a
carried
net
with him
launcher.
a grappling hook, which seemed to. Although fans appreciated this insight
Prime,
into the man
War
behind the
Kitten,
mask, this
Eatsy.
move proved detrimental to Benjamin personally, as he was subsequently fired from his job at the daycare.
Oh, fuck.
And his custom-made suit was confiscated for evidence.
So why did they confiscate your suit?
Here's
a suit.
So the politically correct answer.
Wait, are
is-
you serious though? Like, I'm sorry to keep pausing, but this story is wild. He got fired because he revealed that he was Ben? But how would you not know he's Ben? You would recognize his voice, right? Like, I feel like I recognize people's voices super easily. So if you knew, like if you ever saw Phoenix Jones on the news and you heard him, you would know that that's him. I really feel like that was just some kind of bad publicity stunt from the daycare.
As he was subsequently
parents
fired
complaining,
from his job
probably.
at the daycare.
Yeah, parents complaining.
And his later that month, the charges were dropped.
Nice!
And despite media
Phoenix Jones
outlets
beats up
both
criminals
corporate
and
and
beats up
independent often harsh
charges.
criticisms
Good work,
over the
Phoenix.
fiasco.
What an idiot. Okay.
That was awesome.
He had his own collectible action figure? Holy shit!
It was after midnight. 21-year-old Nicole Westbrook and her boyfriend were walking through Pioneer Square after leaving a comedy show, when suddenly, shots rang out.
Oh.
Gunshot!
This, okay.
Phoenix, along with Purple Rain and Pitch Black, ran toward the sound. Jones caught a glimpse of someone in a gray backpack as the potential shooter and followed him on foot for several blocks until police arrived.
There he is. There's the shooter. Backpack running. Backpack running? Backpack running. Backpack running. Backpack.
I remember when we went down the Phoenix
Having
Jones
been
rabbit hole the
shot
first
through the
time we
cheek,
saw
Nicole
that.
suffered a shattered spine. An ambulance rushed her to the hospital where she passed away shortly after. Nicole was not believed to be the intended target. The source of the gunfire was determined to have been a drive-by shooting, leading police to believe the hooded figure the heroes were chasing was the target. Jones would go on to cite the tragedy as his biggest failure.
And she's up the street and the medics are taking her away. The fire engine drives by and just washes the blood off the sidewalk.
What were you gonna do though, Phoenix, to be honest? Like, in a drive-by, you're gonna fucking flip the car over while it's moving?
People start walking by for work and just do their normal everyday life. And my world has completely changed, and everyone else is exactly the same.
Especially in his later years.
That's kind of fucked up that he'd make a comic about that.
There was scarcely time to process. Phoenix Jones, along with Midnight Jack and El Caballero, were patrolling the protest, attempting to deter and control outbursts. When a protester inadvertently revealed a plan to blow up the Seattle courthouse.
The crowd was actually rumoring a bomb blowing up a building?
Yeah, that's what the people with the black masks were rumoring, because they're kind of dumb, and I don't know if they haven't been to Seattle, but they didn't know that I'm not part of their crew.
Fearing an escalation, they followed the crowd of protesters to the courthouse, and it was there they witnessed rocks and something which was believed to be a failed explosive device being thrown through the glass windows and doors. Knowing Phoenix would be apprehensive to use pepper spray following his assault charge, Midnight Jack opted to be the one to incapacitate the group. When the police arrived, they arrested 8 of the protesters for destruction of public property. The group received their share of disapproving
idiots in superhero cars. Oh, I can't catch a fucking break.
As a combination, but one of the more entertaining opposers of the Rain City Heroes was a filmmaker named Ryan Corey, who decided the thing that was really missing was a villain.
Yeah, fuck.
My name is Rex Velvet, the people's villain, if you will.
I remember this.
For you to end,
he was like the Riddler, but for Phoenix Jones.
I will not back down from you, Jones, until this city is rid of you.
His attempts to bait Phoenix into a campy online rivalry failed. Jones simply took himself too seriously to engage with them.
I mean, to be fair, Phoenix Jones was literally going to the front lines of like the most dangerous situations he could put himself in. Like, he was taking it seriously. He's not going to get into fucking YouTube skits.
Police arrived shortly after, with the heroes content to let them handle the situation. But after the assailant shouted a racial slur at Phoenix, Jones challenged him to mutual combat.
Yo, Washington's a mutual combat state. If you'd like to agree to fight,
oh my god.
If you would like to.
Mutual
he just dropped the gauntlets on him.
2 consenting parties to engage in a street fight.
I've never even heard of mutual combat states.
Or proper
to mutual combat.
God, I wish they'd used a good camera. Holy fuck.
Appears ready to fight.
Sealing
the
deal with
motion blur in a video
under
game.
The supervision of police.
Fighting the suspects.
Ooh. I mean, Phoenix Jones was an 11-0 MMA fighter. Like, that guy had no chance.
Widespread reaction.
It's gonna stop pretty much now.
According to Jones, heroes had been patrolling with illegal weapons.
Oh, what the fuck was that?
Notion of vigilante weapons.
Is that a functional weapon?
Had been patrolling with illegal weapons.
She put a fucking ray gun on the top of her car? Jesus, what a fucking Tesla coil or something? Backside of a clarinet with rings around it.
Phoenix unveiled an umbrella organization he referred to as the Alliance, which acted as a registry for heroes where they agreed to several of
Imagine if this actually took off.
Wearing a bulletproof vest.
And then 10 years later, we have superheroes like Phoenix Jones doing a really good job.
every criminal in the... Or they're like, I'm 7 feet tall and super buff right now. I don't know if there's a mask that'll fit over my giant meat head, but it's cool. I just want to walk around and punch people. Let's go. And I'm like, no.
At this point,
that sounds like someone you'd want on your team. Just guide them better.
We don't get to teach lessons. We get to stop people perpetrating crimes, and we get to give them to the authorities that are supposed to uphold the values that we all...
That sounds pretty fucking noble. Like, that sounds pretty good.
Phoenix claimed the movement now included a legal team, although to what capacity I'm not sure. Aspiring heroes would be
super lawyer, fuck yeah.
Period, and they would be unable to even
he follows Phoenix around and lets him know what he's allowed to do.
Legion, I just want to beat the fuck out of this guy.
He's not worth it.
God, I'm having one of these moments right now. Come on.
And he could do it too. Like, there's plenty of things you can say about Phoenix Jones, but if he didn't have to work within the bounds of the law and worry about assault, he would have been able to probably beat the ass of anyone he thought was a criminal easily. Like, this guy, he seemed pretty fucking strong. That's a great mixed martial arts record. In that one recorded fight via mutual combat, he looked clean. Like, he probably would have had, like, a really good track record of beating ass.
Phoenix Jones preys on people exiting bars drunken, unable to function normally, Shockwave claimed, citing the mutual combat video for evidence. Would MMA allow one fighter to be drunk while the other is sober?
Oh,
accusations
I didn't know that.
His heroics and
that's
spinning
big.
The narrative in his favor. Rex Velvet made a Facebook post celebrating the end of the movement, asking former members to air their dirty laundry about
classic Rex Velvet. That son of a bitch.
Any of the former which shows police responding to a former friend of Jones's who'd reported the hero came to his apartment, his knuckles wrapped for a fight, threatening his life.
He also said he was going to kill me, that I need to be dead. I have all these screenshots on.
Yeah, he texted him.
Holy shit, Phoenix! What happened? 20 minutes ago, I was full on Phoenix Jones team. Now, what the fuck is this?
By February,
I mean, handing out food to homeless people. I mean, you are a LARPer. You are a LARPer with a bag of food. I am a superhero.
Although Phoenix had always displayed a certain
goddamn
bravado,
another superhero should have challenged him and fought.
Not known for shunning the limelight, Phoenix's drop in activity was unusual. But fans wouldn't know why until 2 months later, when news broke of Phoenix Jones's latest and most unexpected arrest. Phoenix Jones, they claimed, was a drug dealer, and had been for some time. Jones would postpone or fail to appear at meeting locations even after accepting an additional $500 via Venmo transfer. Phoenix Jones was arrested for possession of 4 grams of cocaine packaged with the intent to sell, along with various paraphernalia.
Hey, wait, what are y'all doing? No, I'm trying to catch him.
Yeah, it's wild whiskey.
Shit. What did I do?
He's been dealing for years and everyone knew it, wrote another.
Is extremely discouraging to me. And if you're a superhero in the Seattle area, it's over for you now. It's done.
As Jones's video logs and interviews attest, exposing drug
and it was. That was the end.
Of his crime fight, with the hero so unabashed he'd been seen dealing while wearing a Phoenix Jones t-shirt. Some found the irony humorous, but many of Jones's fans expressed anger and disappointment at the hypocrisy.
This is a hard one to
he wasn't getting paid to be a hero, though. I mean, you gotta put some food on the table somehow.
Spent 11 hours in jail and released on $1,000 bail. As of now, information.
Did he represent himself in court? Don't fucking tell me that. Also, you know, maybe he was selling drugs, so he would be the only drug dealer in Seattle, and people that wanted drugs could trust him instead of a shady drug dealer. He could have a monopoly on it with a good drug dealer.
The hiss of walkie-talkies and the smell of pepper spray.
Hard to believe that this wasn't that long ago. When I hear about the Phoenix Jones thing, I usually think like early 2000s.
I got a legal team.
2010 is the new early 2000s? I guess kinda. But this went from 2010 to like 2016. What a story. Man, I knew quite a bit about Phoenix Jones from when we went down the rabbit hole last year, but holy shit, that was deep. Fuck, man. What a story. I like to imagine a world where Phoenix Jones was perfect and his ideas worked. What would that look like? Fucking vigilantes being like accepted in society? Damn, that could have been wacky.